Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we are going to talk about a question that comes to mind of every immigrant that is waiting for their green card, especially immigrants from the backlog countries. Should you buy a home in the United States while you are on a visa, or should you just stay in the rental? I'm going to talk about what my thoughts are on this process, and I'm also going to details about home buying experience. What are the things that you should consider and all the things that are required as a part of home buying process in the United States. So if you are interested in this topic, watch this video until the end and let's get started. So if you are from the backlog country and you are in the United States, say on a work visa, H1, L1, or even if you are a student like F1, you want to live in the United States for a long time. Some of the things that you consider before buying a home or renting an apartment are how long are you going to stay there, or will your visa allow you to stay in the United States if you make a long-term investment, and home is one of the long-term investment. Now if you are from the backlog country like India, and if you are an H1 and L1 and if you are on EB2 or EB3, you have a very long time before you ever see your green card. It's going to be at least 5 to 10 years, if not more. So during this time you are renting an apartment, you have a family, you have kids, and you are thinking every day, should I buy a home or should I keep paying to the landlord the rent that could otherwise would have been in your equity if you had bought a home. You are paying a lot in the rent. It could be in thousands of dollars per month. If you had a home, half of that would be going into the equity that would come back to you when you sell the house. So there is a question on your mind, should I buy now or should I wait until I get a green card? Sometimes you also think that once you get a green card, you're a lot of big investments such as buying a home, buying a good car, things like that. But you can't do so now. And if you think about it, it's going to be 5 or 10 years more before you get your green card. Are you willing to wait that long? Are you willing to have your family go through the lower standard of life even while living in the United States? I know you are working hard, your kids are going to school, your family, your spouse deserves much more. If you think about it, your lifespan is 80, 90, if you are lucky, 100 years. You have already lived some of that. So each year that you let by is not going to come back to you. That is gone forever. So are you willing to live in a rental place for a long period of time? Why not buy a house? That is my question. I have seen people making a lot of compromises and putting their family through that as well. Eating on floor, not buying proper furniture, living in a very small condo to save money in the hopes that whenever they get a green card, they will buy a bigger home. Well, that never happens, or that happens too late. You don't want to deprive your kids and your family living in a subpar environment while you are already working so hard in this beautiful country. The way I think about it is, I will always make it right. If something goes wrong, if I buy a home while on visa, I'll make it right. I'll make it happen. I will not waste my life and years living in a subpar environment, already working so hard for it. I'll narrate my life story in another video, but now let's say you finally decided, okay, I'm not going to wait until I get a green card, or I'm ready to buy a home. So what are the things that you will need to consider? Let's look at it. The first thing you got to think about is your income. It may be yourself working, it may also be your spouse working. So if you are together you have a good income, it's a good starting point to start thinking about buying a home. The second most important thing is think about the down payment. Have you saved enough? In my books, a good down payment is 20 to 25% at the least. The reason I say you could also buy a home with as little as 5% down, but your mortgage rates will vary depending on how much you put in. In my books, if you save enough for putting more towards your down payment, you will have a lesser mortgage payment month after month. You will also have equity in the home that you can utilize in other ways. Now the third thing you want to make sure is, do you like the location where you are living in right now? Do you have a good stable job in that location? And if you were to change your job, or if you were to lose your job, are there prospects of getting a similar job in the city that you live? If all the answers to these questions are yes, then this might be a good location for you. And you should always think about buying a home for at least 3 to 5 years. I say at least. You could be buying it for a longer time, but if you are thinking I'll just buy for a year or two, it's not worth it. So the question comes, how long are you going to live in that city? And you got to answer that question yourself along with your family. In the process, you also want to consider whether this particular city meets your need, such as if you are living in some place like New York, Boston, San Francisco, or some place where there are a lot of universities. You're going to have kids, they are going to grow up. Are there good school districts and are there good universities for them to study in future? They may not live with you, they may go elsewhere, but this is something that you can think about while you are buying a home. The next thing you want to decide is how much can you afford? This is a very important question. You will be surprised when you start looking at this question. You will quickly know what are your limits. So look around your neighborhood, go to the sites such as Zillow, Remax or Redfin and look for the properties around the neighborhood that you live. Look at the cost or look at the listing prices of those homes. They may be in your reach, they may be lower or they may be way higher. That will give you an idea where you would want to buy a home. The second thing is go on the lenders' websites, such as any of your bank. So if you do a banking with a particular bank, go to their bank's website, go into the mortgage section of that website and start looking at some calculators. What that will do is that will ask simple questions like your salary, your expectations regarding the cost of the home, your potential rate of interest, and then some other expenses that it will walk you through. And then finally that will give you a value or that will give you an amount that you can afford based on your salary and your expectations. Now you get a ballpark estimate of what is your affordability based on your current income. Now a rule of thumb is usually you should not spend more than 30% on your living. Whether you rent or whether you buy a home, your cost of home ownership should not be bigger than 30% of your take home salary or your total net income. So net income in the sense, calculate what's your salary or any other income sources that you may have and calculate what is the total and take 30% of it. So if your income for a month is 10,000, you should not be spending more than 3,000 on your mortgage. So that is kind of a rough estimate. Remember, there are other costs that go into this expense when you buy a home, such as insurance on the home. So basically it protects you if your home is threatened with fire or in the natural calamities. The insurance is very important. The second thing is taxes. The city or county that you live in will have taxes, that is property taxes. Those are yearly taxes and those are a certain percentage of your home assessment value. Now each city has its own tax bracket. Some cities that are established that have a lot of things going on, such as other commercial activities where the city gets income, they have lesser residential tax rates. But if you live in a city where it's only residential and there's nothing else going on, they may have higher tax rates for your property. So you got to figure that out in your affordability calculation. The next thing is there is maintenance, there is lawn care, there is utilities. These are all the things that will add to your monthly cost of home ownership. Now another thing to consider is the neighborhood. Some people like quieter, secluded neighborhoods and with a lot of privacy. I'm not one of those. I don't like my home to be surrounded with a ghost town after 8 p.m. I like a little bit of activity going on. So not on a main street, but also not in a cul-de-sac where there are no homes around in an area of 100 meters. That would be scary for me. But it's your choice. Talk to your family, decide on what kind of neighborhood you like to live in and kind of shortlist your requirements that way. You should also consider whether the location that you are going to buy a home is close to a gas station, to a grocery store, to a subway station or commuter rail, or is there public transportation, is there access to highway, because those things can quickly become important. So you may like a secluded neighborhood at the moment, but soon enough when you realize that you have to go to office every day, or if your kid has to take a train or a bus to his school, and that becomes a lot of problem. So make sure you think through a few years ahead of what your situation might be when you decide on a place to live. You also should look at the crime watch ratings and things like that. So how much of a crime is going on in that certain location. You should look at the school districts. So that might not be on your mind right now, but when you have kids, when they start going to school district rating is kind of very important. I also talked about the taxes. You got to know what your tax bracket is for your particular county or the city. It could be higher, it could be lower. So in some cases the actual price of the home could be lower, but the taxes could be very, very high. In other cases, your home value might be higher, but the taxes rates may be. So look at what works out for you. Now next thing is to start looking at lenders. Always start with your bank, with your own bank where you do your banking, but also look at other mortgage agents and compare the rates. Now we were talking about immigration. When you are on a visa versus if you have a green card or a citizenship, the rates do vary because the lenders always look at the risk of recovering the money. If you have a very less validity visa, your rates may tend to get higher, or you may have a lot more documentation to be provided. Whereas as soon as you get a green card, your rates may drop based on that criteria. So if you are very close to getting a green card, you might want to wait until you actually get it to close your mortgage. Now, after you select a lender and a realtor is very important because they walk you through the entire process of home buying. So don't skimp on not getting a realtor. Always have a good realtor to represent you in this whole transaction. That will make your life very easy. They will also show you the homes that fit your criteria. Once you start looking at homes, you might want to look at a lot of things. How new or old is the home? Now everybody wants a new home, but it might not always be possible. The neighborhood might be very old, or there might be old properties that you like. So you got to keep your mind open. So if you are selecting a new home, there is a lot less you have to worry about because everything is new, equipment, appliances, things like that. But if you are buying an older home, there are a lot of things to consider. Let's start few things like roof. How old is the roof? Usually they tend to be around 20 to 25 years old roof. That's where their lifespan is. If it's close to that, they might be due for replacement. So you might want to think about it. If it has been replaced recently, you don't have that expense coming up pretty soon. The second thing is heating and cooling system. If you live in a very hot neighborhood or a cold region or city, you might want to check out if there is proper heating and air conditioning for that home. Some homes do not have air conditioning at all, even if they are in the hotter neighborhoods. So do remember to check it out. Also see if the heating is done based on the forced air, based on gas, or is it oil based. Oil based heating is prevalent in some older homes. That is not a bad thing, but it's something that you might want to consider in terms of maintenance. You might also want to check if the gas or cooking range is gas equipped or is it electrical. There might be a preference related to it. Barbecue hookup, get it inspected. Always get the home inspected. You should have, when you put an offer on a home, you should have contingencies on the inspection. You might be surprised what you can find out. The home inspector's eyes are trained to watch for deficiencies in the homes, even though you may not see them. So remember, it's always a good idea to get the home inspection and put that as a condition or a clause in your offer. Other contingencies in your offer could be also mortgage and any other fixes that you want them to do. Now all of these things are important, and the reason I wanted to mention it is because whether it's the home for yourself for a long term or if it's for property, these are all the common things that you should consider while buying a home. Now after going through all of this, you will see that this process will be very smooth if you consider all of these points that I mentioned in the video. Your home buying experience will be very good, and at the end of the day, you will be very happy that you got your own home. So even if you are on a visa and if you have certain conditions met, such as a stable job and things like that, you should really consider buying a home, because that will be an asset that you will contribute towards while you are waiting for your green card. That was just my thought. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to read them and reply to them as well. So if you found value in this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.